just Latoya, y'all. Hello. Welcome back again to Just Latoya's podcast show. I welcome you once and twice, maybe 3 times. Thanks for tuning in again. I am back with another great part of the singles edition, part 2. But before we get started, I just want to highlight a few things. I have 2 great friends that I kind of grew up with, and we were like this in high school. They met in high school, and Nikki and Joseph, they are celebrating their 11th anniversary as of March 8th, and we just want to say hats off to you guys. We love you, and this is the epitome of black love. Hanging in there through thick and thin. We love you. My family love you. We wish you many more, and continue to love each other as you do. Thank you. We have on the phone with us Samantha and Andre. Let's clap it up for them. Thank you guys for participating. We appreciate you. All right, we're going to go into our first question. And Andre, you're going to start us off here. So I'm going to ask you this question, and you are you ready to answer?
Yes, I am.
All right. Okay, so our first question is, are you the clingy type in the relationship, or do you need your space?
Me personally, I think everybody likes, with relationships, they like some type of cleanliness, but I do feel like with cleanliness, there has to be some type of boundaries. Like, for example, with communication, sometimes a person, depending on their career, they cannot text and call all day. Obviously you want your partner's attention, but, their attention may go in other places and stuff. So me personally, I can be clingy with boundaries. It also depends on the relationship with the woman. What kind of cleanliness does she feel is appropriate or not? So I feel like basically everything with cleanliness it's a good thing, but it has to be boundaries depending on the relationship and also what your partner's expectations and boundaries is also. But I do think that cleanliness is a sign of that somebody's very interested in you and they want to invest and spend more time with you also. That's awesome. My viewpoint on cleanliness.
There you go. I like that. That's right. That shows that somebody is definitely interested in you. When you don't have those things or those qualities, they're not interested. They have other things on their agenda. Thank you for that, Andre. All right, Samantha, you're up.
I actually agree with what he says. That's shocking because, most guys don't like cleanliness. Like, most guys want their space. But I feel like if 2 people in a relationship, if you come in with the understanding of what each other like, as far as being up underneath somebody, for myself, I'm not clingy, but I want to know that my person enjoys my company, whether I'm all in his face or cuddling but like you said, boundaries. You have to have boundaries because every now and then you do need space.
Okay. Well, for me, I'm always up under my hubby. When he's sleeping, I'm up in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm very clingy, but I'm to each his own. I love you guys' answers. So Andre, we're gonna go to question number 2.
Okay.
What's the biggest lesson that you learned by dating?
The biggest lesson that I have learned in dating is I go by the 2 C's that are very important in a relationship: communication and comprehension. If there is no positive communication or even negative communication where you guys can come to a good point in your relationship or even during bad times, you have to communicate your feelings. Okay. And also, too, when you're communicating, you also have to comprehend. When by comprehending, just not letting one thing that your partner is saying going one out the other ear and going out the other. You have to comprehend them, try to get to know them. You have to study your partner. So I would say the biggest thing that I've learned in a relationship, just the importance of communication, and not only communicating, but also comprehending how your partner, how she is really feeling and what is her expectation. So that's my two biggest things that I could come back from lessons is the key 2 points is the 2 C's, communication and comprehension, because a lot of people, they claim that they want to communicate, but they really don't. And then also to what comprehending means, you have to listen and also take heed in a positive direction.
That's right. You have to have your ears open and you have to watch. You know, a lot of times when you're in a relationship, your partner can say some things to you, and they can be key points as to how they're feeling, and you have to take those things and think about what they're saying, because they're trying to talk to you. Sometimes people can be direct, sometimes people can be indirect, but when you're dating, you really have to pay attention and listen. That's big. Okay, Samantha, for you, you have the floor.
Can you just repeat the question?
Absolutely. Okay, what's the biggest lesson that you learned by dating?
The biggest lesson learned by dating is action speaks louder than words. Because nowadays, I mean, what's the true definition of dating? You have to, I think you got to date multiple people at this point. Because communication is important, but in communication, how many times or how many people are actually being truthful with their words when they're explaining to the person that they're involving what their expectations are or what they're looking for? I believe dating now, I mean, you'll be vulnerable with a person and then you open up. You could be dating a person for 6 months to a year, and you've thought you've gotten to one point where, okay, let's take this more serious, where you've now cut everybody else off and you've made this decision to date just this one person. And in dating that one person, you realize now there's a change in their behavior. And it's like you find out that they weren't truthful as far as just being with you. You know what I mean? It's not, nothing is tradition anymore. I'm a traditional person. No, like I believe in just, dating one person. But nowadays, I'm learning now that you got to date multiple people to figure out what's what and how things are going to be. Because not for nothing, you can say one thing, mouth say one thing, action say another. So my biggest lesson learned is just for me to be true to myself. And when the first thing that I don't like or the first red flag I see, communicate that to that person that I'm involved with. And if they don't, as he said, comprehend what I'm saying, and they continue to do something negative that I don't like, or I see that this is not going anywhere serious and they just want to play, and then I got to step away. But now dating, what is dating anymore?
Absolutely. You have to be aware.
I believe that, just to make to Samantha's point, I believe like dating is definitely nowadays is more than one point. And I think when people, when they get to know somebody, they like them, they enjoy spending their time and energy. But people also have to remember also is that, until that you two have a conversation like, hey, I want to be exclusive with you, that conversation, like, listen, it's only you. I want to date you exclusively. There is nobody else. I think a lot of, not saying Samantha gets this misconstrued, I just see this in the dating game. People lock in on one person, but they still haven't had that communication of, listen, you're the only one. They just think that, oh, hey, we're dating 6 months. Is just me and you, when it's totally not like that. So that's, once again, dating is definitely could be, and that also the talk stage can be very confusing. So from my perspective, it's like until me and the female have a conversation that we either or wants to be exclusive, then it's free game to date others.
Yes, absolutely, Andre.
Wait.
I completely agree with you. When I was dating my husband, it's all about communication, and like you said, it's comprehension, because you guys have to be on the same page. When when we were dating, I looked at my husband. I said, "Look, his phone was ringing. My phone was ringing." I said, "Look, if we're gonna be exclusive, if we're gonna do this, let's do this. You have to honestly say how you feel and mean it. You know what I mean? And you have to be honest with each other." So I definitely agree with that. I was like, look, you are we gonna be exclusive or what? Cause that phone need to stop ringing ASAP. You know what I mean? So I agree with that. Great answers, you guys. Thank you so much. So for number 4, we're gonna roll into number 4. So this is for Andre. If your partner is treating you well and with respect, can you uh, can you put up with the baby mama drama? Like, would you want to put up with the mama drama if your partner was treating you with respect?
Me being at the age of 29 and also an educator, I have no kids. When people ask me, do I have kids? I always say 140, my 8th graders. But my preference in dating is, I will be turning 30 in October. I would date a woman who has one child. There's nothing against any woman who has more than one child, to just my dating preference. If she has, that's just my standard. If she has one child and she's treating me well, and she has a solid and good relationship or cordial relationship with the baby father, I wouldn't mind it. But if I do see there is constant drama just from dating her, dealing with this other person, just co-parenting, I probably would not be just as interested. But it just depends on what I see from her. Is she a good mom? Is she a good partner? A future wife? Because I am Christian based and I do believe in getting married and before having kids. So if I see in foresight that her and the baby father would have a cordial and respectful relationship with each other, I would not mind that.
Absolutely, that's a great answer, Samantha. And the same for you. If you had a partner that was treating you well and with respect, would you be able to put up with the drama? Like, would you be able to put up with that, the baby daddy drama?
So I am a single mother of one, and for me, I just believe like if you're in a relationship with somebody, I feel like that person who has the child with that other individual they need to continue to they need to handle their business. And let me start this over so I can be clear. So, example, myself and I'm dating a guy, and I explained to this guy, hey, I have a child. My child's father is XYZ. Every now and then he can be a little aggressive. He can be a little, with his words, nothing, abusive, but I'm not going to bring any, negativity to your door. However, this is what comes with me. Like, I have a child with this person. And I would ask the guy, are you able to handle that? Or vice versa. Or he would ask me if I'm able to handle that. I mean, I've dealt with people who've had baby mama drama, and I've handled it well. However, it's up to that person if they're capable of handling, if they know how to balance the two.
Right.
If you can't balance, then, it's for my own sanity and safety, depending on how bad the drama is, I would have to walk away. Or maybe I can help my partner come to some solutions to possibly end the drama or negativity that is causing the riffraff and the baby mama drama or baby daddy drama.
Right. I agree with that. It's all in communication. I'm telling you, when you're in a relationship and you're dating and you really like that other your person, the person you're dating, if you're really digging them and that person sees that you're struggling in that when it comes to the baby mama or the baby daddy, and they can come to you and say, hey, look, I think you're dealing with this incorrectly. Let me tell you what I think you should do. You know what I mean? It's all in communication. You know what I'm saying? Communication is a big thing when you're in a relationship, and I definitely agree with that. Definitely agree with that. I appreciate you guys' answers. They're great. Moving on to number 5, Andre. Have you ever dated someone that was out of your league, but you tried things out with that person anyway?
In my younger days, I did, and I used that as motivation, and I seen what kind of women I do want to deal with. So yeah, I've done that before, and like I said, we are all adults, and I feel like we're all students, and we can learn from every relationship and experience. So dealing with somebody who was more advanced than me, like in certain situations, like maybe career at that time period when younger in my life, or in different ways and stuff, I just used it as a learning experience, and to go on into my dating field. So yes, I have dealt with somebody out of my league, and in which they taught me how to, maneuver, and how to be an adult, and how to deal with a relationship, and also how to learn from somebody. Because a lot of times when you use the word "out of your league," that means like that they're better than me.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And I believe that's not true. I just feel like you can learn from that. You know what I mean? And I think that's an ego thing. Right. So out of the league, just use it as a learning experience. That's all.
Right. There you go.
Exactly. It's a learning. You can learn from different people who you are in relationships with. I don't think there's a such thing as out of your league. I can't even recall saying I've met and dated somebody out of my league. Only thing I could take from is they taught me something.
Exactly.
There's no such thing as out of my league, because no one is better than me. It's about confidence. I mean, if you don't have confidence and you have low self-esteem, then yeah, you're gonna think like, but dang, he out of my league. Nah, I got tons of confidence to teach me. Let's teach each other, bro.
That's good.
We're gonna learn from each other.
Yes,
learn from each other. That's all.
Yes, I like that.
Definitely.
I like that. All right, y'all coming with these answers now. Okay, number 6. Andre, would you prefer a romantic chick, a romantic I'm gonna say street chick, or an unromantic classy woman?
Can you repeat that again?
All right, I'll put it like this. Andre, would you prefer a romantic around the way girl, or an unromantic classy lady?
That's an interesting question. I just think that, as long as she treats me well, and like I said, if they're unromantic or not romantic, you could show them some different things, maybe open them up. So a typical thing that I like to do, like, being an educator, I like to go to museums, and different things like that, just out of the ordinary, because, a lot of things become repetitive. Oh, let's go out to dinner. Let's do that. Right. It's kind of corny. So when I'm dating, I try to keep her on her toes as much as possible. And within dating, hopefully she can open up. Everybody likes to be, showered with gifts or surprised with different things. So, I think that, any women that's around me, they're opening they'll open up their horizons. And once again, is whatever the two people, communicate what they like and what they're willing to try to do. So, I would say I like romance a little bit, so I'll say the romantic thing.
Okay. Andre said no matter who I'm dating. No matter who you dating, you can open them up to new things.
Oh yeah, definitely. You on that, yeah, brother. I mean, you gotta stimulate their, not just stimulate, physically, but you gotta stimulate mentally.
Absolutely.
So I try to do that.
Absolutely. All right, now Samantha, would you prefer a romantic roughneck or an unromantic gentleman?
Wait, unromantic gentleman?
Yes. A romantic roughneck or an unromantic gentleman?
Unromantic gentleman. That's a little unromantic. Like, that means he don't have no romance at all.
But he's a gentleman,
I can't date nobody that's boring.
Okay.
You can't be boring. Like, so I like romance. I love romance. I like these little, you see like almost a little bit of fairy tale, what you see on TV, like the Tyler Perry shows. I like stuff like that. I think that's just romantic, but don't get me wrong. I like a little bit of street, a little bit of hood, but not that hood where you're like, oh, I'm going, like you've been in jail and you done did 5 and 10 years and you done, you know what I mean? And you about to go back. No, can't do that. But I mean, if you got a little bit of street in you, but you're overly romantic, I can do that. But I also like to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for learning because what I may do or what I may like, my partner may not like. So, I'm willing to learn from my partner on things that, he may find romantic because his romance may be different from mine.
Right. Okay. That's good. Hey, everybody has an opinion, right?
Yep.
Right. All right. So number 7, Andre, if you woke up to your partner praying for you, would you have a deeper connection with them, or would it scare you and would you run?
I prefer. I love a God fearing woman. I grew up in that kind of household, and I would think that I would want the basis of the core of my relationship to be God. God definitely involved. So if she's praying for me, like that's definitely on the checklist. She's serious about her relationship with God, and that's going to be at the core. So if she's praying for me and we're praying for each other, that's just a plus because I definitely want somebody who's after God's own heart and shares the same values, and that's a lot of. I think with a lot of relationships, is there issues because people are not equally yoked. And people, when you think about the word that equally yoked, people think that somebody's not on my level or this and that. No, talking about religion too. So I would prefer a woman who is Christian based and who has a relationship with God. So listen, if she's praying for me, that's definitely some brownie points in her on her scoreboard for her.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So Samantha, if you woke up to your partner praying for you, would you have a deeper connection with them, or would you run?
Well, one, I'm not running from no prayers. However, I am going to ask the question, and hopefully I know ahead of time who my partner is praying to and what faith he is and what he believes in. I do believe in God. I do believe in prayer.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was to wake up to my man praying for me, I might join in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I might actually join in and pray for him. And then, how it, move forward. And after the prayer, just ask questions, But prayer is big. And like you said, equally yoked. Some people don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And again, I'm big on prayer because prayer do fix everything. But I will be happy to see my man praying for me.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you.
And I do think it will make us. It'll probably deepen the relationship. Absolutely. Because I know, not know what he's thinking, but I would know, that he's serious in his faith. Mm-hmm. He's serious about God because some people play with it. I'm not playing with God. I'm scared of him.
You can't play with God now. But I know for my husband and I, when we were dating, we made it our business to read the Bible together. We prayed together, and that deepened our relationship as well. You have to have God in the midst of it all. So that is very important. We're gonna roll into the next question, number 8. Andre, are you willing to drop your female friends with benefits to be in a monogamous relationship?
Yes, of course. If me and her is serious, if we've been dating, I believe the dating stage should, date somebody for at least 6 months, and within those 6 months become exclusive, and then have that conversation. So, I would, drop, the female friends with benefits to be with one woman if it's the right time. Mm-hmm. It has to be the right time on my behalf and for her to be happy because once I'm locked in as a man, I'm very goal oriented. I do believe in marriage and doing things the right way. We have that conversation, that communication like this, and you're the only one I want to be in an official relationship with you, and we both decide on that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind giving up the roster.
Right, I know that's
so
right.
I wouldn't be mind as long as me and her is on the same page, and we have, and like I said earlier, being equally yoked with each other. Have short term goals, long term goals, and it's aligning with God and ourselves, because when we're in a relationship, we become one. So I'm totally I'm totally for giving up the roster. As long as me and her, we're gonna do this the right way.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Samantha, are you willing to drop your male friends with benefits to be in a monogamous relationship?
Yes, I am. Male friends with benefits. If I'm serious, first of all, if I'm dating someone and we've started, sleeping together, I'm just gonna sleep with just that one person. I'm not hopping from person to person to sleep with. Um, so as far as my male friends with benefits, I don't do the male friends with benefits. And if I did, I am dropping my male friends with benefits to be with that one person who is in agreement to be in a monogamous relationship with me, especially if we're on the same page. But I'm not bouncing around from, I don't have friends with benefits like that. Although I've seen people, but I'm a little bit different.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right, so we're on our last question here. Andre, if your lady asked you to give up Facebook, would that be a problem for you?
Yes, because that sounds like an insecurity, and she has to trust me, and then maybe that's an insecurity from a previous relationship. I use all four of the main social media platforms, and I like to talk to my family and friends, keep in contact with, talk about sports and stuff, and that's once again, just laying down the expectation. Like, so I think that's kind of harsh. And I'm one, if I'm in a relationship with her, let's talk about, why do you think I should delete social media? Did you have that in the previous relationship, or did you see something that I did that you didn't like? Let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. But just to give somebody a rule, basically, that sounds like a rule in which I use it for something positive.
Okay.
Like I said, communicating with friends and family, talking about sports. So that's something that I would want to dissect with her. Like, why would she talk about this kind of insecurity to delete social media? So that's what I would ask her. But no, I wouldn't be agreeing to that off the rip.
Right. Okay, that's good. That's good. Now, and Samantha, if your man asked you to give up Facebook, would that be a problem for you?
No, it wouldn't be a problem. But like Andre said, like, that's some type of insecurity. And plus that'll lead to a conversation as to what would be the reasoning for wanting me to delete Facebook or any type of social media platform. Because prior to dating or getting involved, I've had it. What has changed? Mm-hmm. At this point, what are you afraid? Like, what is that person afraid of? What do they think is happening with me having it? Mm-hmm. So me getting rid of it, I wouldn't have a problem getting rid of it, but I would have questions as far as like, what, where is it coming from?
Right.
And if they're deleting theirs, if this was a mutual agreement, okay, we're both going to do it. Okay, fine, but if it's like you do yours and I don't do mine, then it's like, well, what don't you want me to see?
Right.
But not for nothing, social media does, I'm actually falling back off of social media myself. So I kind of like, social media is, it's tricky nowadays. Mm-hmm. But I'm not, I do have, I will ask questions as to why, but if we're both in agreement to do it together, sure. But yeah.
Gotcha. These are great answers, guys. I really appreciate you guys for answering these questions. And like I said in the beginning, everybody has an opinion. And these are great answers. And for my single people out here, you guys, listen in and take in and delve in everything that was said, because we. As a single person, I'm quite sure that you guys all go through the same thing. So just continue to stay safe out there, and you know, and just be honest to yourself. Be honest with with the other person. Honesty is everything. Communication is everything, and comprehending is everything. So for that, I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Samantha. I really greatly appreciate you guys. And that's
You're
going to
welcome. No problem.
conclude.
You're welcome.
That's going to conclude the singles edition projects of What Does It Take. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Take care.
I love my body.